Welcome, princes and princesses, to our Disney season. We'd like you to be our guests as we show you a whole new world. Please remember, what we say in this episode might be a little risque, but you shouldn't take us that seriously. We're trying to take the mickey. You ain't ever had a pod like us, so sit back and enjoy the ride.
What's up, Domination? It's me, Jim.
It's me, Edma.
And Mr. Inkendable.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done, Ken.
How are we both tonight?
Good, I think.
Good?
Yes, very good. Very good, very good.
Why'd you put on an accent there?
Oh, I'm just thinking about, more human interaction, so I need to, test all this out in case I get rusty before I get back out there.
He hasn't spoken in a while. He's trying to remember what his voice sounds like.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Are those just the other people you've been talking to leaking out?
Oh, hello, Ken. Oh, hello, Ken. No, I just say Ken with different accents, and I treat them as different people.
Did you just call yourself?
Maybe.
I'm not good at dating, I think I've decided. I have the worst luck. Dating is not my friend. Maybe I'll just get a few more cats.
Yeah, that seems healthy.
Did I send you guys the photo of the cat that came into my apartment?
I think so.
Is it the what?
The one that you had?
The one that was...
Oh no, there was one outside, and then I opened the front door to take the rubbish out, and he was in the hallway. So I think he must belong to somebody on my floor.
Ah, I see.
And he came inside the apartment. And then I was just awkwardly standing at the door because Willow was sitting on the windowsill at the other end of the apartment, and then kind of looked over and was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Came over, and then I was just awkwardly standing at the door do I shut the door? Do I let them play? What do I do here? Is this how people get extra cats?
Just start collecting them.
Is this how the collection starts?
It's like a sourdough starter. You can't buy them. You have to get them from someone.
Yeah.
The mother dough.
Anyway, so that's my life. Can't date, but I can collect cats. Oh god. How's everybody else's life? Emma's life is apparently a shambles.
I have supported the local economy 20 times in the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
Tell me more.
You're a real hero, Jim. You're a local hero.
I've just been ordering a lot of takeaway. My wallet's doing okay because we can't go out. So we haven't been spending any money on going out, but it's kind of been evened out by how much we've been spending on takeaway. So,
but at least you've got the argument that you're helping the local community.
Yeah, that's definitely how I cry myself to sleep.
You're a real hero.
As I dab special sauce off my chin.
Well, the thing is, right, so because I'm not catching the metro or driving to work or anything at the moment, it's automatically not catching the metro, there's $50 a week. Well,
woo! Yeah,
what
me
else
too.
am I going to spend that on? Come at me, Oporto.
I've become one of those people who realizes just how much his life revolves around the gym.
Like yourself?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
You do. Yes, he's reached critical mass. Everything revolves around him now. But yeah, no, you do go a lot before.
Yeah, no offense to Liana, she's a doll, but working out with her is just not quite the same.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
What do you...
Sorry, going for walks with Liana is just not the same.
I've been signing up to Pilates classes and yoga classes and stuff that I used to go to dance exercise dance classes a year or so ago, and I stopped going when I did my ankle, and then saw that she was doing some online classes and stuff, and I was like, that's good, and at least it gets me up and about in the morning, and now I'm actually ready to start the day as opposed to rolling out of bed at 5 to 8 and then at the computer at 8.
That's the greatest.
I was just the existential dread was just setting in real bad. It was so bad.
I've enjoyed eating my breakfast at the computer.
Oh yeah, I started doing that too.
As I log in.
Yeah, and you know how Damien was saying today that he felt bad taking a shower during work time. You know what? I would be going to have a coffee and having a bit of a chat with my mates. So me having my shower during work time is me just taking a little bit of a me break.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I think that's okay.
Weirdly, I'm working longer hours from home.
Yeah, it's so much easier too. Yeah.
You stay on a little bit longer afterwards.
Yeah, whereas normally I'll be gotta go to the gym.
Did I tell you guys that I on my push bike rode about 93 kilometers last week.
I saw that. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Who am I? What has quarantine done to me?
I went for one ride last week and I was like, well, that's enough for me.
For the year.
Was it to go get food?
I wanted to do some exercise, so I rode to our old house and back.
How far was that?
It's about 15 k's there and back. It's not
Nice.
that far.
Nice. No, that's all right. That's a decent distance.
I used to do it every day, so I know that like I can zone out while I ride. It's nice. It's nice uphill all the way there, downhill all the way back.
Now that I got my my AirPods, it's great.
Yeah.
Have a bit of emails. I went on like a 20-something kilometer bike ride last week, and I just had gotten my AirPods and I put them in and I was listening to my emo playlist, and there was like the sun was starting to set. I was at the top of this hill, like just having a bit of a water break, and it's just, you know when you like look off into the distance and just like pretend you're in a music video. That's 100% what I did, and it was the greatest
Nice.
thing ever.
So you've got your exercise going, you ride a bike, you've got the tech. You're basically a hipster now.
Yeah.
Oh God, no!
Have you got a fixie or a...
I take it all back. I don't want
Do you have thick rimmed glasses?
Yeah, is your bike a fixie?
a fixie. What's a fixie?
Fixed gear.
No.
Shame. It would have completed the ensemble.
I don't want that. I don't know what that is, but I don't think it is.
Is that the one with one gear?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have, you can't
Oh,
change
no,
gears.
no.
It's just
I
the
have-
the one with the giant gear.
No,
Yeah.
I have all of the gears.
Okay. How much lycra do you wear? None? Good.
3?
3.
No, I've got the. I've
Three
got the.
lycras.
3 lycra.
I just wear normal. Okay, look, for the record, I just wear normal workout gear, but I do have the bib shorts. Because you need padding. You know, look, I thought this podcast was going to help me find me a man, but I'm thinking that every episode I kind of unveil something more about myself that's probably just like, no, thank you.
You're painting a rich tapestry for the listener.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
it's definitely a tapestry. I don't know if it's a good one.
One imprinted with your very, very tight bra straps.
What?
Nothing. Ignore me. That was a throwback to that episode where you were talking about taking off
when we
your
had
bra.
the Easter egg about me taking
Yeah.
my bra off. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
great feeling.
that one.
It's still one of the greatest feelings ever.
Do you wear a bra at home?
I feel, you know what? Look, to be pretty open, I didn't the first couple of days that we were working from home, like kind of like when all this, but then I realized that if I actually get up in the morning and actually put on whether it's proper exercise gear and like put a bra on, a shirt and everything, you feel a bit better. I think just wearing track pants and just lounging around not giving a shit started to really make me feel a bit worse.
You and I had slightly different species.
When I went out to get my my coffee in the morning, Liana looked at me and went, "Your clothes are so daggy. They've almost gone full circle to becoming fashionable again."
Oh my god.
Are you also a hipster?
I was wearing like a dark grey like t-shirt and like dark grey fleece pants and like my New Balance runners.
Oh man. It's like ultimate dad hipster.
Yeah,
Did you have a gold chain as well?
I should.
Oh man. Have you got your quarantine beard going?
It's my normal beard.
So yes.
Yeah.
So yes, you know.
I mean, I was prepared beforehand.
You were the ultimate dad hipster, but without the kid. Well done, Jim.
And then Liana was like, "But this is how you would wear it if you were a girl," and like hiked my pants up and like rolled the sleeves on my shirt up and tied a little knot in the front of my shirt. And she was like, "You look so pretty."
So Ken, are you also a hipster? Is this
I am not a hipster. I don't have I'm very stylish, so none of that throwback stuff. Always in the most stylish sleeping clothes.
Yeah, look, stylish is one way to put it. There are others, but it's definitely a way.
My shorts have camo on them. They've got this
You still
the
wear
camo
those,
pattern.
like, what are those, the cargo pants that we just got the rip off?
I miss those. I used to have a
do
great
not.
pair of those.
I do not.
There are only 2 pockets on these. Oh wait, 3 pockets on these. There's one in the back. Okay. There are no, they're not real cargo pants.
Are they like the really deep pockets on the side, like the cargo pants?
Yes. Okay.
Nothing will ever be cooler than like 15-year-old Jim who had like his like camo cargo pant, like cargo shorts with his PlayStation Portable in one pocket and his iPod in the other.
Oh, the visual.
How does it feel knowing you peaked?
Oh,
At that
I
point
peaked
in life.
so early.
I'm really sorry I didn't meet 15-year-old Jim.
Oh,
I
he was
met-
gross as fuck.
What did I meet? 17-year-old Jim?
Yeah, you met 17-year-old Jim. He was slightly less gross.
Slightly Slightly. Those were the days.
15-year-old Jim was also less social.
Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, 15-year-old Jim and I are completely different people. In many ways, we're much the same.
I feel like, Ken, you haven't changed much.
Ooh, that's good. Wait, is it? Did you like me back
Yeah.
then? Okay, good.
I mean, I talk to you every day in homeroom.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, in a good way. I think it's a good thing. I think you've changed. You have changed. I think you've come out of your shell a bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I think the bubbly personality and like who you are hasn't changed, if that makes sense. But you've
Nah,
grown
I'm depressed
up.
as fuck, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh god. But you know what I mean? Like, I think if people met you now that hadn't seen you since high school, they'd be like, yeah, that's Ken.
Ah, yes. That's good to hear. I don't know. Emma, I feel like I don't think... I can't say if you've changed now because I've known you a lot better since high school.
Yeah, that's true for me as well.
Yeah, like
was the worst.
No, I knew you. I knew you in high school. I spoke to you every
didn't.
day, but like, you know, you
Jim, God damn it, do not start this. I swear to God.
But like but back then you were like that cool, unapproachable girl who's like, like, you know, just like,
Cool, unapproachable girl.
yeah, cool and unapproachable. You know, you're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. You know, like
I had
but
no idea
you know,
what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing.
See, that's where it changes because I didn't know that you didn't know what you were doing.
Oh, so is that why nobody talked to me? Because everybody just thought I was like too cool. Whereas in actual fact, I was the biggest loser.
No. Everyone like sort of like looked at you and like, you know, this is like one of those girls that we just like give a head nod to and don't embarrass ourselves in front of her. You know, that's the kind of girl Emma seemed to me, you know? I need to put on my best appearance in front of Emma.
That was your best appearance?
I mean, now I talk about cat girls and redheads in front of you, so like...
Actually, that's true. That's true. You did not mention cat girls 10, 11 years ago.
He's really let his guard down around you.
Oh, God. Yep.
Yeah, I can't imagine any of the girls that we went to high school with would have been really like on board with the whole cat girl thing.
Some of them might have been.
Nah.
Interesting.
I'm trying to think of one.
For anyone who doesn't know, our high school that we all went to was only co-ed for the last 2 years. So we tended to get a bit of a mix of girls.
And the boys had no idea how to talk
Yeah.
or how to act in front of girls.
We hadn't even seen a girl in like 5 years. And
Good
I
times.
remember it like at the end of our third last year of high school, at the end of year 10, they had like people come in and talk to us about like how to talk to girls. And like
God.
how not to be a complete dickhead around girls.
Yes! Oh, those!
I remember hearing about those.
It was basically like, look, we know you're going to fuck this up. Just don't say dumb shit.
And I remember when we had orientation when we were all starting as well. And it was like, now, these guys, they're used to acting a certain way. It's been just the boys for this long. Like,
They've been alone on a desert island with no...
pretty yeah, wow. Good times.
I blame that school for my stunted social abilities.
You're all right, Ken.
Yeah, at least you had a sister.
That's true. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but you didn't do too bad out of it all, Jim.
Yeah, that's true. I met Liana on the first day that she went to my school. I met her on the bus, actually.
And then how long did it take you guys until you got together? It was a while.
2 years.
Yeah, I was going to say. It was all right. It was a slow build.
Yeah.
And look at you
We had a
now.
real, like, Sam and Diane, will they, won't they vibe.
And they did. God, what is this, like 11 years later?
10. It's nice. We started going out in 2010, so it's really easy for me to work out what year anniversary it is because I can just minus 2010.
Is that why you waited the 2 years?
That's the case for all anniversaries, by the way. All
Okay,
those out
I
there.
can just take away 10.
That's definitely why you waited those 2 years. You were like, this is
Yeah.
going to make it easier for math later.
Yeah,
for later,
for
Jim.
that is exactly what 17-year-old Jim was thinking. That was... He wasn't a stupid idiot at all. But enough about me.
Shall we jump into it?
Yeah. I'd like that.
Yeah.
So tonight we're talking about L'Incroyable.
The Incredibles.
Yay!
Look, it took a lot of effort for me to watch this movie. I procrastinated this so badly. I don't know why.
You really didn't seem excited to watch it when we talked about it last week when we did the last podcast.
Yeah, it's not my favourite. I'd seen it once before the rewatch that I did today. And I don't remember. I didn't hate it, but it was one of those ones where I was like, okay, cool, I've seen it. Like, I had no interest in needing to see it again. I haven't seen the second one. Look, so it's been a few years. Rewatched it today. Didn't hate it. It was enjoyable. And I think as well, like we've said with all the other movies, there's always something that you pick up as a little bit more of an adult. Because I'm an adult, apparently.
No.
That you pick up.
No.
The government believes that I am. So, yeah, there's little things that you pick up here and there, and like callbacks to other movies or like, you know, past whatever.
I really like this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are one of those movies I watched in the cinemas with my family, so I have like some nostalgia attached to it as well. But I did like it even at the when I watched it the first time.
I don't think I saw it at the movies, but I did watch it on like fairly steady rotation for a couple of years there.
Really?
I used to put this movie on when I would like procrastinate high school assignments when I didn't want to do them.
The disbelief in Emma's voice. Really?
So you had your your portable PlayStation in one pocket, your iPod in the other, and then you were watching The Incredibles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even watched like the DVD commentary track a couple times.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jim.
Okay, you're next level.
It was good.
Jeez. Okay.
See if I can remember any of the bits from the commentary. There's only one bit that really sticks out. There's one bit in the commentary where they talk about you know the scene where they have like the argument over the dinner table.
Yes.
In the commentary track of the DVD, they talk about how there was like weeks of discussion and like arguing within the studio about like how the broccoli changed positions across the table throughout that scene.
What?
And people, yeah, like the broccoli moves throughout the scene because nobody was keeping track of where it should be. Like where it was at the start and where it was at the end. And so it just moves around and people like having very heated arguments about something that nobody cares about.
Yeah, but you know that if they didn't put that in there, that somebody would have picked it up years later and it would have become a thing.
Like, why does the broccoli move?
The broccoli.
Was that guy French?
I'm not sure what that guy was.
He might have been.
Just kind of my pedantic nerd voice. Well, actually,
All right.
Maybe he voiced Bon Voyage.
Monsieur Incroyable.
So should we give a bit of a rundown on the plot?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's kind of, you know, what if the Keen Act from Watchmen happened in a legally distinct version of the Fantastic Four universe?
And done.
Yeah. That was easy.
Pretty
Was
much.
that our shortest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Jim. Well done.
All right.
Ken, give us a little bit of synopsis of this movie.
Oh, yes. So, this movie, as the name implies, is about The Incredibles, which is a family of superheroes. The whole movie starts off with a flashback of Mr. Incredible's good old days where he was at his peak, and he was saving lives and superheroes were still legal. We'll more on that later.
Just off track for a second. Similar to last week, what year do you think that that like before part is set in?
Ooh.
I'll just say this, that it seemed a lot longer than 15 years in between.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
The way they like filmed it, it was like, you know, almost black and white. There was like this sepia kind of like filter on it.
Yeah, and the cars and stuff like that. So I would have put it as like maybe like the 60s or the 70s. But then when the like present day came into it, I would have thought that it was present day.
Nope. Turns out the beginning part is set in 1947 and the rest of the movie is set in 1962.
Oh, of course.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they were in the war?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
God, can you imagine Mr. Incredible, like, on Normandy? Just, like, throwing tanks at people.
Is that how they won?
Yeah, that's it.
I wonder if he's bulletproof though, or if he's just strong.
See, I don't know.
They never.
His suit is bulletproof.
But the
Oh,
thing
good
is, they
point.
never really used bullets against him, did they?
No. Anyway, we've gotten off track. Sorry, Ken, continue.
Yes, so his good old days. At the start, he takes down a fella named Bon Voyage. Just incredible. And there is a... Oh, I was thinking his name should actually be Dynamime.
What was his original name?
It was Bom Perignon.
That's it. That's such a good name.
It was one. I was gonna be in one of my fun facts, but yeah, it was supposed to be Bom Perignon, but the after the champagne brand, but they were like no.
Which I get.
Yeah,
Did the champagne brand say no, or did...
yeah, they're champagne because it's Dom Perignon, so they said no.
Damn it, that would have been cute.
Luckily, there was another very accessible French pun they could work in.
Yeah.
But yes, no, a fan of Mr. Incredibles, Buddy, decided he wanted to become his sidekick, so he dressed up, got some rocket boots, or he invented some rocket boots, and then named himself Incrediboy.
You're not affiliated with me!
try to help him out. But unfortunately, that brought him more disaster that later led on to superheroes being made illegal. You know, this was Incrediboy's origin story. Later, he becomes Syndrome, where he starts inventing things, makes the money, buys a private island, creates robots that can kill superheroes and also the general mass. And then during this, Mr. Incredible was also used as a test subject to make his robot better. And after the robot was finished developing, he shot the robot into the city. Metroville? Yeah, Metroville. Metroville, and guised himself as a superhero, and to save the city, but ended up failing. And Mr. Incredible and his family comes out, saves the day because he messed up. He goes and kidnaps their kid, and that didn't work out either. So he was thrown into an exploding jet, and then he dies. Well, actually, we don't know if he dies or not.
Oh, he dies.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that is...
I mean, I haven't seen the second movie, but if he is not dead, nah, I'm sorry.
He does not feature in the second movie. No, that dude's dead as fuck.
Oh, damn it.
So pretty much he's a superhero. Then superheroes get banned and have to live like normals. 15 years later, he's married to another superhero. They have superhero children. And then his arch nemesis, who's been working behind the scenes, devises a plan to defeat him.
This movie makes the case that, like, you should be the nicest to the weirdest members of your fan club.
Isn't that like every kind of movie like this, though? It's always the bloody crazy ones.
Yeah, always be nicest to the crazy people. But I did want to ask you guys. So the 4 family members, you've got Mr. Incredible, who is super strong. You've got Elastigirl, Mrs. Incredible, who is super flexible and can, you know, like extend her arms and legs and body parts into weird shapes. You've got Violet, who can turn herself invisible and create force fields. Dashel, who can run really fast. And Jack, who just has like a grab bag of all of the different powers but can't control them because he's one. Excluding Jack, because that's cheating. Which of the 4 family members would you most want to have the powers of?
There's a Violet.
You know, I was thinking about this before because I was going to ask the question as to if you could have any superpower, what would you have? But if it was out of those, I'd probably go Elastigirl.
Yeah?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I mean, just back at the enveloping it, towards the end of the movie, when they hitch a ride on a rocket to get back to Metroville, she holds up a Winnebago through the G-forces of a rocket launch.
Oh, yeah. That
Arguably,
was
she's
ridiculous.
stronger than Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty darn strong.
Yep.
And even when she's stretched out, she could like punch those guys in the head. You know, when she was like trapped between 3 doors or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's great.
And she's still able to punch them. I was like, oh, she's actually pretty darn strong too. So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah.
And based on... Oh, this is about the second movie, but she becomes the lead in the second movie as the superhero. And, like, they did say that objectively she was the better superhero based on what she's done, so...
She's smarter.
Yeah, she's smarter, less damage.
Hashtag girl power.
Bob just kind of breaks shit. That's his whole MO. He just kind of punches shit until it goes away.
Yep.
Or just hugged that lady really tight and he was just like, I'll crush her. I'm like, all right, mate.
But he still didn't go through with it because he's a nice person.
So, Ken, you're going with Violet.
Yep.
Emma, you're going with Elastigirl.
Yes.
What does that leave me with? Who do I pick? Do I pick Mr. Incredible or Dash?
Well, you were saying earlier that you have wanted to pick up cars.
Yeah, let's go with Mr. Incredible. Like, I really empathize. Like, there's a scene early in the movie where he has this like really depressing life at the beginning of the movie because he can't be a superhero anymore. So he works at an insurance company and he drives this tiny car that he can't really fit in because he's enormous. And he gets home and he accidentally breaks the window of the car when he shuts it, and he just flips out, picks up the car like he's about to throw it over a mountain. And I really felt that.
You okay, Jim?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
No, have you never had one of those moments
No, I
where
have.
you're like
I get
trying
it.
to, yeah. I feel you, Bob. I get you.
I'm just that kid on the driveway, just waiting for something amazing to happen.
So, if we're thinking of Syndrome's plan, so basically he wanted to destroy Mr. Incredible, I guess.
He wanted to get his revenge.
And so his plan
Revenging.
was to track him down, because obviously for 15 years he didn't know where the superheroes were, so he needed to track him down and he wanted to kill him and then like destroy the world, but then save the world, so it looked like he was the best superhero.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I think, once he got his revenge on Mr. Incredible, which was like 15 years of build-up for him, I guess, so like power to him. But yeah, once he did that, what he wanted to do was start all of these like robots taking over the world, but he was secretly in control so he could make it look like he beat them without having superpowers.
Yep.
And that's something interesting that I noticed that somebody pointed out to me on the internet is that none of the villains in the Incredibles movies have superpowers.
Yeah, which is weird.
Oh. Oh.
It's a good point because because even in the flashbacks there wasn't really anything, was there?
No, none of the villains have superpowers.
So maybe only good people get superpowers?
Yeah,
No,
maybe.
that-
Yeah, I wonder how do we know how it works in that universe? Like how did just
Not
some
for
people
sure.
have? Yeah,
We know at least that it's hereditary.
Yeah, but then I had the question, and I know that so each of their powers was something to do with their personality, but like it just doesn't make sense to me that they would each have different, if it's been passed down to your children. I don't know. That's where my mind went, that it didn't make sense that he was strong, she was Elastigirl, and then their kids' powers had nothing remotely to do with what they had.
Yeah, especially Jack Jack. Like you find out more about this in the sequel, but Jack Jack basically has all powers.
I want that one.
Yeah, basically Jack Jack can do anything he wants. I mean, like it makes sense in the fact that this is basically an homage to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four have a son called Franklin Richards, who's one of the X-Men, but his power is basically he can reshape reality to be whatever he wants.
Oh, geez, that's OP.
Yeah.
So these people all just share their ideas and just change them slightly.
Yeah.
How do I change? That's a great idea. How do I change that just enough?
Yeah, like we said, it's basically a similar but legally distinct version of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the plan?
Pretty good, except he made the machine too smart.
Yeah, that was basically his downfall.
So he makes these machines called the Omnidroids, and the Omnidroids are like a learning artificial intelligence that figure out how to beat you as you fight them. And the machine figures out that it's being controlled by a little computer on his wrist and just destroys the little computer. Well, takes the computer on his wrist away from him so he can't fight it.
But the thing is, like, I didn't understand, right? Like, I think it's a great idea to be able to defeat the enemies and the people you want it to, but don't verse it yourself.
No.
Like, you
Don't
don't
get
need
high on your own
anything
supply,
fantastic.
man.
It's basically like all for show. So just
Yeah.
create some crappy little robot.
Yeah, you know what you do? This isn't my plan, but you make a crappy little robot that you send to
Metroville.
destroy this. Yeah, you send to Metroville to destroy the city.
Yeah.
And then you send in the Omnidroid to fucking waste that motherfucker.
Yeah, but then you don't come in then. You need to...
Yeah, exactly. No, you don't go in. You just say, hey, I've got this robot that can take out the other robot. It's called the Omnidroid. Here it is. I'm the best.
Yeah, fair.
That wasn't anybody's plan, was it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Ken.
Was that your plan, Ken?
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
So what would you guys rate his plan though?
I give it an 8. Yeah, he did very well except for making the machine too smart. He took out all of the superheroes, basically, in the world.
Yeah, he did pretty well.
He's killed basically all the superheroes.
Yeah. He had good planning, so good foresight. He had henchmen. He had middle management.
He had great middle
He
management.
has
He did
great
really
middle
well, and
management.
he played the long
Yeah.
game. I think he just, in my opinion, he played a really good long game. He had some great henchmen. He had this secret lair off on this island and whatever. The thing was that he had planned for so many years, and then right towards the end of it, like it all just happened so quickly. It was just kind of like, mate, you
Yep.
just need to take a little bit more time.
Yep.
So what you're saying is, like all nerds, he blew his load too early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Thanks, nerds.
Nerds.
So what are you giving him, Emma?
You know what? I actually think I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I don't think it was I think he got a little bit of, maybe blew his load a little bit too soon towards the end, but I think it was actually a pretty decent plan.
Yeah.
I also give him an 8, yeah.
That makes him our highest rated villain. Tied with Jafar.
Really? Ooh. He lost points for trying to kidnap a baby at the end.
He was just scrambling at the end.
How could you?
Although, you know what's funny, Ken?
Yeah?
I've set up a little average thing in the spreadsheet. With that latest score, your average score is 6.66.
Oh, speaking of 6.66, I have a fun fact. This is not really a fun fact. It's just at 33 minutes and 33 seconds in the movie, there's a drawing on Mr. Incredible's man cave that has the name Ken on it.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Speaking Speaking of fun facts, are we ready for some fun facts?
I am ready for some fun facts.
It was actually, well, when I say based on a true story, loosely. So the director, Brad Bird, he took inspiration from his real life, and he'd actually, I guess more obviously not the superpower bit, but more the family side of things, and how, you know, he wanted to be an animator, but he was working a job that he didn't want to do and things like that. So he kind of, you know, I guess the real life aspects of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you say it's based on a real life story, but it's basically one of those movies where it's based on a true story, but all of the significant details have been changed except the theme.
Yeah, but look, it's fine. It's fine. Just go with it. So it is the only Pixar movie that I believe without the Pizza Planet truck.
Ooh.
Disgraceful.
Yeah.
Is that the toy? Is that the one in Toy Story?
Yeah.
The well, in all of them, I guess, but like in Toy Story, that's the one where they go to the arcade and there's the pizza place.
Pizza Planet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they climb in to try and get back home, right?
Yes, that is the one.
I didn't even know they were in other movies.
The claw. Yeah, it's in all of them.
Yeah, it's like a
wow.
little Easter egg that they put in.
Oh, wow, okay.
The original title for the movie was The Invincibles, and the code name while it was in production was Tights.
That's a good code name.
Tights. Oh, yep, good. Yep, okay.
So Metroville, as we said, was the name of the town, and it's actually a combination of Metropolis and Smallville.
Like in Superman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Superman. Yeah, which I think is pretty cool. I've actually got a picture of Henry Cavill staring at me right now.
Just one?
So in the vows, when they're getting married, Bob says, "You're my greatest adventure," which is actually a call out to a DC comic series of Doom Patrol, which is called My Greatest Adventure, which actually has its own Elastigirl in it.
I was going to say, apart from the Elastigirl bit, that seems like a bit of a stretch.
Ha ha! Nice.
So the voice of Edna was actually from the director, similar to, and I was trying to remember who it was. Oh, it was Stitch.
It was, yeah, similar to Stitch.
Yeah, that he recorded the early temporary tracks for it, and when the actress that they had brought in to I guess record for it, she heard them and she was like, no.
Do you know what the actress that they got in, who they thought was going to do the voice, she came in and she said, like, what the fuck do you want me for? He's already done it. Like, do you know what I know her most from, that actress?
Yeah.
She was Mrs. Frizzle, or Ms. Frizzle.
Oh, is she? I
Yeah.
was wondering, yeah.
Wait,
okay, cool.
Magic School Bus?
Yeah, Ms. Frizzle from the Magic School
That
Bus.
was a great show. Maybe I should rewatch that in quarantine. Have I gotten there? Is that where I'm at?
Not yet, Emma.
Is that
Not
where
yet.
I'm at in
Don't do it.
quarantine? Oh, God.
But you would learn so much from that show.
Yeah, it's edutainment, Emma.
Entertainment.
Edutainment.
So all of the superheroes that Syndrome killed were actually shown at the wedding.
That's
They were
kind of
guests
morbid.
at the wedding. Yeah.
Wait,
Although
wait, what?
I guess they've already rendered the characters. They might as well put them in a scene somewhere.
I thought that those ones were the one that were having troubles with their capes.
Also, those are the same people that died.
Oh, but did they get killed by Syndrome? I don't think they
Yeah,
were killed
some of them die in cape costume
Mishaps.
malfunctions, and some of them were killed by
okay.
Syndrome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, that is one of the greatest lines.
What?
Nuggets!
Knockouts.
No.
Strato girl sucked into an airplane. Nuggets!
You done? Is that it?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. So Syndrome was based on the director visually. So the team, they had to work some crazy long hours to make the deadlines that the director had created, and they wanted to take it out on him. And by the time he realized it was too far into production to change
That's a
it.
real dick move.
I think that's
Wow.
fantastic. And if you see a side-by-side photo, which Jim will put in the notes, it's actually pretty cool. So the kid who voiced Dash, they would get him to run laps in the studio to help him sound like he was out of breath.
Oh.
Reading his lines, because Dash is obviously running around a fair bit. Which reminded me that I actually really like the scene at the end when he's in the track race.
Oh, that was hilarious.
No, second place.
Close second! Like, people next to the family are just like, what the actual fuck?
So it is the first Pixar movie with main characters that are human, and that is also rated above G.
I mean, there is a fair amount of punching in this movie compared to
there's
the other.
actually a fair
Pixar
bit of
movies.
Even when Frozone's like yelling at his wife, like, you're just like, seriously?
I don't know if you have this fact in there, Emma, but Honey, Frozone's wife, was just one of the HR ladies from Pixar.
Oh, good old HR.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
Evelyn's in danger!
It's actually one of my favourite scenes in this movie. I will give it
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
so
like
good.
for children, I mean, they probably wouldn't have really picked up on it. But I know we were talking before about the Fantastic Four similarities. But when this movie came out, it was in the same time that Fantastic Four, the original one with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba and stuff, came out. And it actually forced Fox to put out another $20 million in their CGI because in The Incredibles, Elastigirl looked so good that they realised how shit theirs was and needed to redo their CGI. Still wasn't great.
God, that movie's awful.
It still wasn't great.
I was about to ask if I should see it, but I've got my answer.
You shouldn't, but you know what? I do like Chris Evans.
I knew you were going to say Chris Evans.
And his clothes burn off at some point, and it's pretty great. And he's
Yeah,
in
it's
the
when he's
snow.
skiing, isn't it?
He's in the snow. Yeah, it's great. The last one I've got here, actually, you know how I said that I had a picture of Henry Cavill looking at me? It's actually, you know how I was using it as my background on our Zoom conversation? It's the one of him as Geralt sitting in the bar. So as I was talking about Chris Evans in the snow and how he creates like the little jacuzzi, I looked up and there was Henry. Anyway, last one, which I actually thought was really cool, is there's a Die Hard reference in there. So as we know, Samuel L. Jackson, one of the coolest guys ever.
Haha, he's coolest.
Played Frozone, but he was also in Die Hard with a Vengeance. So when they are in the jewelry store and the cop is saying freeze and he's just saying he just needs a glass of water. He just needs a glass of water. It's a callback to Die Hard with a Vengeance when same thing kind of happens, but he's like, I need to answer this call on the payphone when he's standing on the corner of the street.
What's also funny about Samuel L. Jackson is that this was like the first thing that he voice acted, but Brad Bird said that he wanted Frozone to have, quote, the coolest voice. So that's why he cast Samuel L. Jackson.
Look, he did pretty
Like, I
damn
get
good.
it. Yeah.
I definitely get it. If I think of cool voices, Samuel L. Jackson is definitely up there.
Yeah, although there's a lot fewer F-bombs in Frozone than Samuel L. Jackson's normal characters.
Yeah, I think there's about 0.
Yeah.
So you probably had to do a lot of takes.
I was going to say, like,
can't
can you imagine
swear, Sam.
Look at this motherfucker! Dad, these motherfucking robots!
On this motherfucking plane. That's a great movie too. Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a plane. Let me remember that. Write that down. Snakes.
Don't, Ken.
Oh, don't? Okay.
No, it's great. Definitely
She's
watch
being
it.
facetious.
Definitely watch it.
Oh.
You know when that guy puts
No.
the snake in the microwave? Oh man.
Yeah.
Classic.
Do you know that there's one of the preset buttons on that microwave says snake?
Oh, did you guys know that Violet was shown as bold to her voice actress?
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't have the hair wasn't rendered yet when she was voicing her. Have you guys like looked at the hair animation on this movie? Holy moly!
Yeah, that was the other thing I remembered from the commentary track is that they spent a good like 10 minutes talking about how hard the hair was to animate in that scene where they land in the ocean.
Yeah, but you know what annoyed me was when she was the boat, when she was the speedboat, and
Why did that annoy you?
her hair looked like well done. I'm sorry, if you're the head of a boat, your hair isn't going to look like your fringe is nice and tidy off to the side. Your hair's going to be flying everywhere like you were in a convertible.
Or that you're a mermaid,
Yeah, sure.
like on the front of an old boat. You know, that's the joke I'm making here.
All right, Jen. But you know what I mean? Like it was just kind of like casually off to the side, and then she like turns around and looks at the children, and it's like still there. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, the hair was fantastic in this film. I think they did a fantastic job, especially with Violet. But that really annoyed me because it was just like, I'm sorry, I have short hair too, and it would be going everywhere.
There's a reason why they call her Mrs. Incredible.
Well, way to bring me down.
Hey, woo! Go, Mrs. Incredible.
No, I was just going to say that I really like how well thought through each of the powers are for the characters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Bob is, you know, the big, has to be strong husband. You know, Mrs. Incredible is like, you know, the flexible mum. Violet is, you know, sees herself as invisible at school. And Dash is like
ADHD.
a child. Yeah.
I love Violet's power so much though. And when I watched that movie in the cinemas, like, I'm like, oh my god, I want force fields and invisibility. That'd be awesome.
Fuck, I wish I was as confident as like end of the movie Violet is.
Oh, she's so cool.
I like movie. I'll get
like
the popcorn.
movies. Yeah.
Can someone come up to me and ask me out on a date like that, please?
Yeah, have you considered trying that, Emma? Just walking up to a guy and being like, I like movies. I'll buy the popcorn.
I'd probably get like a, okay, crazy lady. And also, especially at the moment, I'd have to like stand like awkwardly 1.5 meters away from them and be like, I like movies.
I would say yes if you did that to me.
The movies are shut,
Just like-
love.
Just like sitting in the seat like 3 meters away from him. Being like, would you like some popcorn?
No, that's the perfect opportunity to get one of those, those dinosaur grabby things?
Oh, yeah.
And just like put it like 2 seats, have 2 seats in between you and just like reach over with that and grab it. Super romantic.
Nah, you need a thing longer.
Yes. Thing longer.
From Futurama.
A what?
It's he invents something called the thing longer, which is like a glove that you wear that makes one of your fingers freakishly long.
Right.
So you can like point or touch things that are far away from you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, that'd be hard to pick up the popcorn, but sure.
2 thing longers.
And people thought I wasn't romantic. Look at me go. I've got all these romantic date ideas.
Girls out there, this trick works. Come back in 2 weeks for dating advice with Emma.
No, nobody wants dating advice from me. Anyway, cool. Shall we move on to it? Does anybody have any more fun facts or shall we move on?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question. I wrote this down when I was watching the movie. I was like, do people normally have slices of cake in the kitchen?
I wish I did.
I wish. They don't last very long.
Yeah, like Mr. Incredible comes back from like saving those people out of a burning building, and he comes back and he grabs a piece of cake out of this like cake holder, and I'm just like, does everyone have cake? Like, is that a normal thing?
Look, I'm not going to lie. My mum used to make cakes a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I lived at my parents' house,
Yeah.
my mum would have cake in the house from time to time.
Yeah, it wasn't like an everyday thing, but otherwise
Yeah.
sometimes mum would be like, oh, I have bananas. So she'd make a banana cake. Or she'd be like, I need to get rid of this. So she'd make a chocolate cake. Like, it was just kind of like, okay.
God, our parents were weird.
Fantastic.
My mum did.
And I love you very much, Mum. And I cannot wait for after quarantine cakes.
What's funny about that scene is when he comes home, he's humming the movie theme song.
Oh,
Which is, it's like, I hum the music from this movie when I'm just like around the house. Like, the montage scene where he's like lifting trains to work out.
Yeah.
Like the music from that, I like hum to myself when I'm like working around the house sometimes because it's just such a good like.
Because you feel like
montage.
you're lifting trains.
Yeah, and it's such a good like getting things done montage song.
It was good. And that was a really good montage too. I liked that.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that scene. In a non-weird way. That sounded really creepy. Non-weird way, I thought it was a great scene.
No, it's such a good scene. Like,
Okay, good.
I really like the way that they really go all in. All of the 4 characters get a scene where you get to see like the logical conclusion of what their powers can do.
Yeah.
Like Bob is like lifting trains to work out, and like Helen does the thing where she gets stuck between like the 4 doors. Dash gets to run on water. And I can't think off the top of my head what Violet's is.
I
escape
guess
out of
for
the shackles. She also
Yeah,
She
let's
had
go with that.
she had a
Create a-
few.
She
And then when
she gets a lot of little things throughout.
Yeah, and when she protected the family from the explosion and stuff like that.
best power.
It's a pretty,
Yeah.
look, that's a pretty good...
It's a pretty good power. And like you see in the second one, when she makes her force fields, it basically goes through material. So she uses it to like cut things in half if she wants to. So you could like fairly easily decapitate a person with that.
Interesting.
Anyway, should we move on to our plans?
I'm not thinking about decapitating anyone now. Sorry.
Yes, let's move on to our plans. So when I was thinking about this, so I feel like Syndrome had 2 big flaws, I guess, in his plan. So the biggest flaw was that he thought he could beat Mr. Incredible when he was fighting fit. As one. And the second one was, I guess, trying to beat muscle superheroes instead of just outsmarting them. I mean, like, his power is money and intelligence. Like, you use that.
Like, he's basically like, what if Batman was like a fangirl?
Pretty much. So anyway, so that was that. So what I think that he should have done is focus on destroying Mr. Incredible's legacy not, I guess, essentially making a martyr out of him. Stick with the training and on the island and everything, and make him as powerful as possible. But while he's on the island, you trick him and give him an injection of nanites or nanobots or whatever you want to call them. Essentially tell him that it's something that's going to help with his reflexes and let him get to that peak fitness, and then you flip the switch. So what this flipping the switch will do is essentially, I guess, augment his reality to make him see his friends and family as enemies that he's going to want to attack and kill. And then essentially when you release him into the world's going to watch on in horror as he hunts down all the old heroes that are still left, if the ones that you didn't catch, like Frozone and things like that. And so once this is done and the world is against him, then you can approach him for that final battle, but you flip the switch again, and then he'll obviously go back into his own mind and realize what he's done, which will absolutely crumble him. And will break him completely. And then also, while the nanites are kind of, I guess, powering down, they're going to start attacking his nervous system, which will help if in case there's any extra strength that he does have there.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
you fight and destroy him, and everyone will see you as a hero because you've taken down the bad guy, I guess.
I like the plan, but I have a couple points. It's like, first off, do we ever see Syndrome using nanites or anything like that?
No, but you assume with all the technology that he's got that wouldn't be a far stretch of something that he could do. He's got freaking those beam things that he's got coming out of his hand. I'm pretty sure.
0 point energy.
That's not what 0 point energy is, movie.
I'm pretty sure that he could come up with something to inject him with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we don't see it.
Or you could just use, like, let's say for the sake of argument that the 0 point energy field is a thing. Couldn't you imagine something like that to, like, make him move?
I knew that would trigger Jim.
Yeah, possibly.
Like, it's the same end. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
My other point that I wanted to make is, why wouldn't you save your money on the nanites? Just film him destroying that building at the start of the movie and leak it to TMZ.
Oh my god.
Because I feel like he'll be able to come back from that.
Damn, that's a KISS plan.
He'll be able to come back from that. I feel like, look, because even if, say, that he wasn't able to, you weren't able to defeat him at the end there, even with the nanites or whatever, attacking his nervous system and you destroying him, that there is no coming back from the world. He's either going to commit suicide or, or be completely shunned from the world because everybody has seen everything that he's done, and it wasn't just destroying one building. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was, you killed a lot of people and your family.
You know that Mr. Incredible is listening to the police scanners. I imagine it would be fairly trivial to engineer a situation where Mr. Incredible, through, not thinking things through, causes a lot of harm to people. And then you just film that and leak it to TMZ.
Yeah, but I just feel like it wouldn't have the same effect on him that killing his own family would. Like, we're talking about bloody destroying this guy who didn't want to work with you. Yes. Anyway, that was my plan.
Good plan. I like it.
Thank you.
Very dark. Very, very dark.
Yeah, it's very dark. You went 0 to 100 very quickly.
If you're going to do it, you might as well do it right.
Oh my god.
Now might be a good time to let the audience know that today's episode is brought to you by LastPass, your all-in-one password manager for any situation that you might come to. Do you find yourself with a supercomputer that has all of your incriminating documents on it that's protected by a 6-letter password? Well, fear no more, because LastPass has got you covered.
I thought you actually got us a sponsorship. I was like, what?
No, I did not get us a sponsorship.
I see where you're going with this.
No, first off, never have a 6-letter password on your computer that stores all of the incriminating documents that you wouldn't want leaked to
Anything
TMZ.
else is too long to type, Jim.
Oh my god.
So is that your plan? Have a longer password?
No. That's a note. Let's just say that's a note that I have for him. The other note I have would be, give your fucking machines a backup power supply. Like, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, guy. Like, you gotta have 2 if it's vital.
This also applies to traveling. This is Jim's travels tips as well.
Yeah, 2 is 1, 1 is none. If it's vital, you need a backup. But no, my actual plan is very simple. My actual plan is, so the downfall of the machine is that the only thing that's hard enough to penetrate it is itself. So my actual plan is very simple. Make the body of the machine harder than its arms. It's very easy. That way the machine can't kill itself.
That was part of my plan. Oh, well. It's okay.
Sorry, Ken.
It's okay.
But yeah, like that's supposedly like they learn from the different ways that the superheroes kill the machine as it goes through the testing process. But they didn't really learn from that in the first time Mr. Incredible kills it. It basically beats itself to death, and they didn't fix that issue.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You make the body of the machine harder than the arms.
That's what I was thinking too. That, like, for a machine that can learn, if you recovered it and there's holes all over it with its arms, the arms have broken the body, you should replace it with either harder material or thicker material, right? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, good point. Very good point.
Yeah. Any notes? Yeah, Ma?
No, like, look, it makes sense. It's a quick fix.
It's a quick and easy fix. You take the arms from whatever Omnidroid Beta 7 or whatever, a couple versions ago, stick them on, and keep using the same body. It's easy. Doesn't require any additional development time. I mean, you still have the same problem that it's going to
It's still going to outsmart
it's still smart
him.
enough to knock Syndrome out, but like the Incredibles can't take it out then, and so it accomplishes its goal of like mass destruction.
Yeah, but I feel like, because remember in the first one how he was still able to get inside of it. So yes, it destroyed itself, but he was still able to get inside of it, and you can't really steer away from, I guess, having some sort of crawl space, because how else would you be able to create it?
Are you making like you need to service this machine?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So they'd still be able to crawl inside of it, and then surely they'd just start ripping cables.
Yeah, just make like Apple and glue the fuck out of it.
It's only going to last 2 years though.
Yeah.
Before the battery
It only really
deteriorates.
needs to last a couple of hours.
True. Yeah. Look, I feel like that if it wasn't that, they'd find another way. But I get from the movie sense that yes, that would.
All right, Ken, what's yours?
Okay, here's my plan. So in addition to hardening the body of the machine, I believe that some other modifications should be made. So you've got two decisions here to make. You've got a decision here to make for Syndrome. So you either decide to fight it for real and actually be able to take down the Omnidroid by yourself. So you'd either have to like be good enough to take them down, or you'll have to like stage it from the start to finish. So you should really choreograph the thing. You should do some rehearsals on the island beforehand, and when you go to go ahead and actually do it, you have to turn off the self-learning function, because that was what really took him down. You don't want the machine to be able to learn from his fight with you. You want to always have the upper hand. Otherwise, every time you reboot the machine back up and take it to another city, it'll become smarter. So you need to make sure to turn that off.
Yeah, at least when it's fighting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, I can't believe anybody bought him fighting with the machine. Like, he like really like pantomimes it up when he like does the like air punch and then like pushes the thing on his wrist and then the arm flies off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
but-
so bad.
How did anybody buy that?
Oh my God.
I feel like it's supposed to be that he was like up high enough that people were kind of like maybe squinting a little bit, being like, it's like that WWE wrestling. It looks just real enough, but until you're up close,
From
and then
far
you're
away.
like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That fight scene was so bad. I know it was on purpose, but still, choreograph that thing. So the one, and so the
I don't know why, but I'm just picturing like, a middle-aged balding man in a leotard being like, listen up, ladies.
And a 1, 2, 3, 4.
One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the final part of my plan has to do with his real true goal. I think super strength probably isn't the rarest of superpowers out of everyone, and you'd be able to replicate that even with a robot. So I'd say don't use Mr. Incredible as one of your test subjects. If he's your final boss, then just take the Omnidroid to the point where you think it can defeat Mr. Incredible, and you let that thing loose and don't give Mr. Incredible a chance to recover from it.
I mean, I imagine that's what they were trying to do the first time they brought him to the island.
Yeah, but
That's
but
definitely what they were trying to do.
But the thing is, like, here's the thing, like, he wanted revenge. My point here is that he should let him come out of his cave, be a superhero for a little bit, but when Mr. Incredible couldn't take the Omni droid down anymore, Syndrome comes out, takes it down easily, and then if Mr. Incredible comes up to him, you should say something like, I don't need you, I work alone.
Oh, sick burn.
Poetic revenge right there. And as Edna, what did Edna say? Edna said, men at Robert's age are often unstable, prone to weakness. Therefore, I think my plan is perfect in defeating Mr. Incredible.
I love the way Edna talks.
She's so great. She's just, follows the beat of her own drum, like she just doesn't listen to anyone.
And I just love the way this movie thinks. It's like, of course fashion designers would be dying to make outfits for superheroes.
Oh, true.
But with no caps.
No caps!
She's a great character.
She's great. So much so that they basically had to shoehorn her into the sequel.
Did they?
Oh, the
Yeah.
sequel. Yeah. She's hilarious in the sequel as well.
She's hilarious, but she doesn't really
It's not the
fit.
same. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't.
No.
Also, how Mirage was there was so much going on between Mirage and Mr. Incredible? Mm-hmm. Was that an affair, but being Disney-fied? Is that what was going on?
That's the implication that they're making, that, basically this whole movie is Bob having a midlife crisis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
He quits his job, he buys a sports car, he starts working out. Can't remember what show it's from, but there's a line that's stuck in my head, which is men only take care of themselves when they want to impress someone. I think it's 30 Rock, actually.
Possibly.
Guilty.
Yeah. Now you've got me thinking about how Mr. Incredible would just destroy Mirage. Perhaps Elastigirl is the only person who can, accommodate him, if you take my drift.
Oh, yeah.
It's true though. There's somebody there. There's somebody for everybody.
Shall we vote?
No, let me think about this. Wait, give me a sec.
Mine kind of had a useful digital health tip, which is to have a password manager.
Oh, that's true. And it made me feel like we actually got a sponsorship, so that made me feel good.
Yeah, LastPass, if you're listening, I will accept literally any amount of money.
I don't think they're listening.
What if they just
don't
give
think
you a
they are.
free subscription to LastPass?
I mean, it's free to begin with, so...
So yes.
They already are my password manager of choice, for their ease of use and convenient users and convenient user interactions. Any amount of money. We're talking 1 cent.
Any amount.
All right. Are we ready to vote?
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Emma.
Jim.
Emma.
Yay! I won! I finally won! All I had to do was get really dark. Noted.
No. You nearly lost my vote because you were so dark. I put, there was just so much detail and effort in yours that I'm like, nah, she know what she's doing.
Yeah. You scared me a bit that if I didn't vote for you, that you would kill me.
That too.
All I need is 15 years and a lot of money. And I gotcha. I feel like every time I have something really well thought out and dark, I win. But I feel like maybe I just need to scare you guys. No, I felt like the last few times that my plans they were good, but they weren't ridiculously thought out. So I thought, you know what? I need to actually put some steps and something a bit different, and there you have it.
Although, you know what your plans got me thinking, Emma?
What?
When's our 15-year high school reunion?
Oh my god.
15 year in 4 years.
In 4 years.
4.5 years.
Plenty of time.
Oh my god.
Ken, we've only got to keep this podcast going another 4.5 years. Then he won't kill
We're
us.
coming up on 1.
Jeez, we are.
Cool. So I win. Woohoo.
Woo!
Go me.
So what's your headline, Emma?
My headline is Metroville takes an incredible fall as Syndrome rises.
Well done.
Ooh, damn.
Good work, Emma.
Thank you. Woohoo. I think I needed that. I think Quarantine Emma needed that. I needed the win.
Although, somewhat unfortunately, that does even it out to 2 wins each.
Bum, bum, bum.
Wait, what? Are we on episode 6 already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This season's just going.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool that we're now evened out.
Yeah.
You may rue the day you said that, Emma, when we're on episode 12 of our Star Trek season.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, Star Trek has been so good.
I'm so glad you're
It
enjoying
is
Star
so
Trek.
much
Ken.
fun. It makes you feel really smart, and you're actually curious about how everything works in this universe. Watch it, Emma.
So just for the listeners' benefit, I've set Ken an assignment of the best episodes of Star Trek just to kind of acquaint himself with the material.
It's only 21 hours worth.
Yeah. He's made it through all the original series episodes.
Not yet, not yet.
No,
I think I have
thank
2
you.
left, don't I?
Oh, 2 left.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 left. But no.
And then you're on to next gen.
The original series is so good. I thought it was going to be black and white, boring stuff, but damn, it was good. It's You know, like the camera. I mean, you know, there's some really sexist camera work in there, but apart from that, like, god damn.
They keep doing this thing throughout the original series where anytime there's like a young pretty woman on screen, they put like a blurry filter in front of the lens and like warm the lighting up.
God damn.
And normally there's like a ooh noise in the background. Like, that part of it hasn't aged particularly well.
No, it has not. I can see the target audience, though. I am the target audience. well, my demographic about 20 years ago, I'd say. Wait,
Yeah, imagine
1960s.
you and me from 1966.
Yep.
Like, we were the target demographic
Yeah.
for this show.
Jeez, this show's 50-something years old.
And I feel like that's how long we've been talking about Star Trek.
Just wait until episode 6 of our Star Trek series.
No!
Season 6 of our Star Trek. So, like, in addition to these 3 seasons that we've been doing.
Oh, dear God. I'll give you one. I'll give you one Star
One
Trek.
season. Okay, thank you.
One season of Star Trek. Okay, thank you. Got it on tape. No
I
backseat.
know, I
No
said
backsies.
one movie. One movie.
Oh, I only get to pick one plot.
Oh.
How exciting
God damn,
for you,
that's
Jim.
tough.
You get to watch all of them to pick one.
It's very exciting. I've been
You're welcome.
I've been rewatching it with Ken as he goes
Nice.
through some of the episodes.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for everyone.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was a good night.
Incredible night.
I would say join us next fortnight, but like
Who knows?
even though like we're at home 99% of the time now, this coronavirus thing has really thrown our recording schedule
Yeah,
out of
no.
whack.
What day is it?
So join us next time where we will be talking about The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay. All right. I'll watch that again.
Nice.
I've got so much time on my hands.
Oh my god, yesterday I thought it was Saturday. I finished work, I started eating dinner. You know, and then my sister was like,
So you
"Oh,
worked
what-"
and then still thought it was Saturday.
Yes. It's that bad. It's that bad. I was
wow.
like, this weekend's been going for a while.
You need to start going to bed at a reasonable time, Ken.
Also, not to brag, but who has 2 thumbs and a public holiday next Monday?
Do we
As we
not get?
record
We
this.
don't get
you
one,
what,
do we?
mate? Oh.
Yeah, Anzac Day's a public holiday in the ACT. Get Shrek to
God
New South
damn it.
Wales.
Yeah. Dumb.
Another day to do the exact same thing you do with your evenings. Sit around and
It's
watch
for
TV.
the troops.
I could go for a bike ride. I could do whatever I want to do.
You could, yeah.
I might. You don't know.
All right. Well, I'll talk to
Yeah.
you next
We'll
time.
talk to you
I
next
feel like we
time.
left it off on a really sad note. Oh.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to World Domination. You can find links to all the things we talked about, our other episodes, our social media handles, and our contact information at anchor.fm/worlddomination. If you want to tell us something, feel free to get in touch. And remember, if you like the show, make sure to tell your mum about it.